Welcome to your practice to cultivate kindness and compassion. My name is Sherlock and I'll guide you through today's practice. Over the coming weeks, we'll take a look into two of the 8 limbs of yoga, the yamas and the niyamas. These two aspects provide a guide for our attitudes and behaviours toward others and the world, and also how we relate to ourselves inwardly. The yamas reference our attitudes towards others and the world. And there are 5 principles to work toward in the yamas. And while change doesn't happen overnight, our consistent yoga practices like asana and pranayama can help us become more aware of our behaviours and attitudes, both on and off the mat. The first of the yamas is Ahimsa, which translates to non-violence. We aim to work toward finding kindness and compassion for others and the world around us. This practice uses gentle heart-opening postures to invite kindness and create space for compassion, and some hip opening and stretching asanas to allow us to release and let go of past behaviours, and maybe we cultivate a new path for moving forward in the world in a more kind and compassionate way. Let's meet on the mat. Before we begin, if you haven't got them nearby, grab a couple of cushions, a bolster, some blocks, maybe some books, lots of blankets, towels, anything to prop yourself up. This is going to be a nice supportive practice today. If you need to, pause the video and come back to us. We'll begin with a breathing technique called heart breath. So if we just find a seat, nice and comfortable, ground down through the sit bones, reach up through the crown so we've got a nice elongated spine. And you can close down the eyes and just start to align with the natural rhythm of your breath. Notice the ebb and flow of the inhale and the exhale. Now place your right hand on your heart and just sense the breath entering through the heart. So we're inhaling, imagining the breath being brought into the body through the heart center. And exhale, the breath releases from the heart center as well. So as we inhale, notice as the heart fills and the breath fills the chest. And exhale, shoulders relax. Breath releases from the heart center as well. Just taking a moment to really connect with our breath and the energy of the heart. And we'll set an intention now to meet ourselves with kindness and compassion throughout this practice. And in doing so, in meeting ourselves with kindness and compassion, we allow ourselves to meet others in the same way. So just sensing the breath on the inhale, entering through the heart center, and on the exhale, releasing. Letting go. Equal inhales to equal exhales. Building our heart's capacity to expand that little further. You can release the hand from the heart. Bring it to rest on the knee. Eyes remain closed. Allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Notice if the heart feels warmer. Maybe it feels a little fuller. It's a little more energized. Beautiful. Coming over to our knees now. This is where we grab our blanket or a bolster. Just place it gently in front of you, so just in front of the knees. We're going to come into a supported version of child's pose. So you can widen the knees to about the width of the mat, bring the toes to meet. Bring the bolster or the stack of blankets or pillows just in between the thighs and gently drape your torso over the blanket. Resting on the right cheek, allow the hands to fall to the side of the blanket and just melting into the bolster. So we're opening up through the back of the heart here. If you feel like there's a little too much rounding, you can add a few more blankets. And we're just retaining the breath at the base of the spine. Just taking a few breaths here. Inhale, breath blossoms from the base of the spine as you notice the pelvic area expand. Exhale. Lower abdominals maybe draw toward the spine. Inhale now, gently rise, coming up to center. And as you exhale, draw the left cheek toward the mat. I'm just going to stay on my right cheek. So we might have some troubles with the microphone. But we're just resting here so that we feel the same or create the same sensation on either side of the body. So we're getting a nice twist through the neck, as well as our draping of the torso over the bolster or the blanket. Just opening up through that back heart space. Taking a moment to go inward. Inhale, gently walk the hands up. Move the bolster and the blankets to the side. Bring the knees toward each other. Come to a natural tabletop position and gently wave the body forward, lowering the pelvis and the belly to the mat. Undulate here, lifting the chest, lifting the chin. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Pushing through the fingertips, again waving the body forward, pressing into the tops of the feet and the pubic bone. As you lift up and out of the chest, slight bend in the back. You can draw the elbows toward the body, and as you exhale, gently lower down. Inhale now, follow the cadence of your breath as you rise. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, sweeping the body up and waving the chin forward, broadening through the chest. Exhale, lowering the torso to the mat. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Bring the palms to just underneath the shoulders. Press into the palms, lift the tail, draw the tail back toward the heels. Coming back into child's pose. Inhale now, coming up to neutral tabletop position. Tuck the toes, sweep the tail to the sky. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here, breathing into the forward fold, the slight inversion. If it's a little tight on your hamstrings, keep the knees a little bit bent. Drawing the soles of the feet toward the mat. Lifting the tail up and back. Internally rotate the elbows so we find that nice broadening through the shoulders, which helps us elongate the spine. Inhale, sweep the right leg to the sky, three-legged down dog. Exhale, draw the knee to the chest, step the foot between the hands. Lower the back knee, untuck the back toes. Inhale, sweep the hands to the sky. Anjaneyasana, low lunge here. Helps us calm the mind, improves our balance and our coordination. Let's take it a step further and open up through the chest. So just drawing the hands to interlace behind the back, broadening through the chest, lifting the chin. And if you've got a little in you, arch the back a little further. You'll notice a nice stretch through the front hip flexors, the left hip flexors and the psoas. 2 more breaths here. Trust your inner strength here, lifting up through the heart. Beautiful. Coming forward, framing the front foot. Sweeping the right leg to the sky, 3-leg down dog. Exhale, lowering the right leg to meet the left. Inhale, sweep the left leg to the sky, 3-leg down dog. Exhale, step the foot between the hands, coming into lunge. Lower the back knee, untuck the back toes. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Coming into our low lunge, feeling that nice stretch through the right hip flexors, through the right psoas. Bringing it down, opening up through the chest, interlace the hands behind the back. Draw the knuckles toward the earth. Breath blossoms from the base of the spine, rises into the chest and the collarbone. Exhale, navel draws toward the spine. Meeting yourself with kindness. Beautiful. Frame the front foot, untuck the back toe, lift the back leg, stepping back. Reach the left leg to the sky, 3-leg down dog. Exhale, left foot meets the right, coming back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lower the knees to the mat. Coming up onto the knees, rising up. Preparing now to come into Ustrasana, camel pose. So you can bring your hands to the low back here. We're lifting up through the chest. So we want to push into the tops of the feet, or if you want to find a little more length, you can tuck the toes, which helps finding a little length when we come back into the back bend. So drawing the elbows toward each other, we're lifting up through the chest, lifting up through the ribs, and we're going to gently lower the back, reach the hands to the heels, lift the chest and the chin. Use the breath, lifting the ribs, finding the energy between the thighs. So we're not clenching the glutes here, we're activating the quadriceps. So we want to turn the hamstrings off so we find the strength in the front knee. Be careful not to let the head and neck hang here. We want to protect our cervical spine. Lifting through the chest, opening up through the heart. One more breath here. Mindfully now, bring one hand to your back, bring the other, and use the core to lift up into our standing position on our knees. Lower the hips to the heels. Bring the hands out in front, tuck the toes, sweep the tail to the sky. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Catch your breath here. Release any pockets of tension using the breath. Good, lower the knees to the mat. Bring the buttocks to the mat. Extend the left leg out long. Draw the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Coming into Pravrita Janu Shishasana, revolved head to knee. So we're finding length through the spine here, and bring the elbow to the inside of the left leg. If coming down onto your forearm is a little too much for you, so if you're in a slightly tighter body, you can just bring the palm to the inside of the calf or inside of the knee, wherever your body allows. So we're trusting our body and honoring where our body goes to. We're honoring the limits of our body. And as we inhale, we'll reach up with the right hand, find length through the spine. And as we exhale, we're going to fold and rotate the torso toward the sky. So we're going to rotate the right shoulder toward the sky. And you can remain here with your arm reaching over toward the left side of the mat. Feeling a nice stretch through the side body, opening up through the ribs, creating space. If you've got it in your practice, you can grasp the sole of the left foot with the left hand and maybe come to reach your toes with the right. Inhale, finding length in the spine, creating space through that side body. Exhale, perhaps you find a little deeper in the fold and the rotation of the torso. Janu Shishasana improves digestion, helps stretch the hamstrings and the back and the side body as well. Breathe into a sense of compassion here. Beautiful. Inhale, coming back to center. Extend the right leg out long. Bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right. Bringing the right elbow to the inside of the right leg. Here's where it gets interesting. One side might be a little more flexible than the other, and I know that on my right side I'm a little less open than my left. So we'll inhale, find length through the spine, sweep the left arm to the sky. Exhale, hinging at the hips, folding to the right, rotating the torso to the left, lifting the heart to the sky. Feeling the opening through the side body. Nice stretch through the left hip line there. If it's in your practice, grasp the inside of the right foot with the left palm, but maybe you can reach the toes with the left arm. Remembering to open up through the chest. Inhale, find length through the spine as the breath blossoms from the base along the side body into the collarbone. Exhale, navel draws to spine. Meeting ourselves with compassion here. Micro bend in the right knee if you're a little tight through the hamstrings. Inhale, find length. Exhale, rotate a little further, maybe fold a little deeper. Inhale, rising up to center now. Extend both legs out, coming into seated wide leg forward fold, Upper Vista Konasana. Just taking your legs as wide as they can go, so we're honoring our body. Inhale, finding length through the spine. Reach the arms up to the sky and hinge at the hips and fold to where your limit allows. You might be up here, and that's okay. Maybe you're a little bit further down, and maybe you're super flexible and your torso comes to the floor. That is not the case for me. We want to maintain the integrity in our spine. So if we're rounding, we've gone too far. So walk the fingers back or walk the hands back, finding length in the spine and then hinging at the hips, just making sure that we've always got that nice straight back. So in Upper Vista Konasana, we're opening up through the hips and the groin, improving our flexibility. And surprisingly, this posture calms the mind and helps improve focus. And we're just going to trust here that the posture will help us find presence. Continuously coming back to our intention for our practice, finding and cultivating kindness and compassion. Because if we can cultivate that here for ourselves, we can definitely meet others in the same manner. Just one more breath here. Inhale, breath blossoms from the base of the spine into the collarbone. Exhale, navel draws to spine. Good. Inhale, gently walk the hands back to the groin, lifting up through the spine. Bring the soles of the feet to meet the mat. Knees are pointing to the sky. Bring the hands behind the back. Gently lower the knees to the left side of the mat. Sweep the right arm around the back. Push into the palms so you're in length through the spine, and you'll feel a nice twist through the low back, through the left hip line. Just breathe here. This is really good for our digestion. Opening up the organs. Inhale, breath blossoms from the base of the spine through the twist. Exhale, notice as the navel draws to the spine. Recognize if you feel any tension, maybe you need to let go here. Exhale, sweep the right arm around the back. Lower the knees to the right side of the mat. Sweep the left arm around the back, pushing into the palms, finding length through the spine, feeling a nice stretch through the right hip line this time. Elongating through the spine on the inhale. And on the exhale, maybe you go a little deeper into the twist. Beautiful. Exhale, sweep the left arm around the back. Grabbing our bolster again now, coming into a Supta Baddha Konasana, but supported. So just bring your bolster or stack some blankets or pillows just behind the back here. Bring the soles of the feet to meet. So we're gonna have a nice diamond shape with our legs. If you've got a couple of blocks, you might want to prop the knees up with some blocks, just depending on how open you are through the hips and the groin. And we're going to gently lower our back onto the blanket and the bolster, making sure that our head is supported, our head and neck, and allow the arms to fall to the side of the mat, so we're really opening through the front body here. And chest is singing to the sky. Inhale, breath blossoms from the base of the spine. Maybe you feel it rising from the groin through the navel center into the heart. Exhale, navel draws to spine as we melt into the bolster, melt into the blankets or the pillows. Just allow the body to relax here. Finding an opening for kindness and compassion. Be the watcher of our thoughts. Notice what we're saying to ourselves. You can close down the eyes here if you like. Take the gaze inward. quite often we forget to slow down and just allow ourselves to be in the moment. If we can show ourselves the kindness and compassion to do this on our mat, perhaps we can show ourselves and others in the world the same when we're off the mat. Last breath here. Inhale, gently push through the elbows to rise up to a seated position. Remove the blanket from behind or the bolster. What we can do now is we're going to bring the bolster or the blankets or pillows just underneath the knees so we can have a supported Shavasana. Bring the back to the mat. Extend the legs out long. Just allow the feet to rest where they do after the blanket or the bolster. Draw the arms away from the body. Palms are facing up. Gently lift the chin away from the chest, so we're encouraging the natural curve of the spine. Take a deep inhale. Notice if the breath makes it through to the lungs and the chest and the collarbone. And as you exhale, gently release any tension through the jaw, any furrow in the brow. And if they're not already, close down the eyes. And as we relax here into Shavasana, allow gravity to take hold. Release each muscle into the mat. And begin to find kindness and compassion for your thoughts as they come and go. Just allow them in and let them pass, let them go. With each inhale, we find more love and compassion. And with each exhale, we release a little further into the mat. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Let go of any urge to control the breath. Just allow it to move in its natural rhythm. We're just observing. Begin to find some movement in the fingers and the toes. Perhaps you sway the head and neck from side to side. Inhale, now roll to your most comfortable side. Gently move the blanket or bolster away if you need to do so. And just observe. Notice how the body feels in comparison to when you started your practice. Do you feel a little lighter? A little more open? Pushing into our free hand, coming up to our seated position. Finding length in the spine, eyes can remain closed. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, drinking in the energy that you've created from your practice today. Exhale, bring the hands to meet. Draw the hands to heart center. As we come back to our intention of cultivating kindness and compassion for ourselves on the mat in order to meet others in the world in the same manner. Take our last inhale and drawing it through the heart. So breathing the inhale through the heart. Exhale, releasing the exhale through the heart as well. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for today's practice, and more importantly, thank yourself for finding the kindness and compassion to bring yourself to the mat today. As we move through our lives and our days and our work and meeting with family and friends, let's take that intention of meeting everybody with kindness and compassion. We don't know what people's stories are or what they're dealing with in their private life. And if just one person meets them from a place that's loving and kind, maybe that lifts their spirits just that little bit. If you found this practice valuable, please click the like button, give it a little share. Let me know in the comments how you felt afterwards. I always like to see the comments and respond. And if there's anything that you would like to see or a practice that you would like me to create, pop it in the comments. If you want to continue on with this practice by finalizing your whole morning, afternoon or evening with a meditation, I recommend this one just up here. Finally, it would really help, and I'd be most appreciative if you clicked on the subscribe button if you're new here. Touch on the little bell, then you won't miss any of our practices. And as always, keep making magic in this world from your space at your own pace. Namaste.